and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Pixels, where we unravel the intricacies of evolving technology and its profound impact on various industries. Today, we're honored to have Mr. Marco Aurelio de Lago join us, who is a 3D environment artist at 3D Cityscapes, which is based in Toronto, Canada. Mr. Marco brings a wealth of experience in 3D environments, Unreal Engine gamifications, and digital twins. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr.
Oh,
Marco.
thank you so much. Actually, it's really good to be here, and of course, give some like insights for all the community. And happy everyone.
Now, before we begin, I would like you to share a little about your experience in the industry and what you have gathered about the evolution of tech from working on conventional gaming to now Unreal Engine. Where do you see this going from 2024?
Okay, so I started into 2020, actually 2018, as a junior environment artist at Codemasters here in Malaysia. So it was really nice because I learned a lot about the game pipeline in general. So after Codemasters, I actually after 1 year in 2019, I moved back to Brazil, that which is my country, my original country. So I was floating between like a game pipeline and also working for a few games in Brazil, but also working for architectural visualization. So I started to have a few projects and getting interested about that field because actually my sister is an architecture. So pretty much it was really interesting because I was learning with her a lot of things. And yeah, so after a few years, I got invited to join 3D Cityscapes, where I really had my very first experience with architectural production, right? So it was really, really nice. And before, I used to work with Unreal Engine, but it was more like simple tasks like importing and adding in the textures for the materials. So I wasn't actually doing a lot of things inside Unreal. So once I joined 3D Cityscapes, I was really deep inside Unreal and making a lot of things there. So just making all the levels, everything. Besides the my part that is like more optimization thing, right? So it's like a and more performance and this kind of things. So it was really really interesting to get used with the tool itself and know a little bit better about every single part, like the blueprints, also creating materials. So everything was really new for me and really good because I had a lot of great guys working with me. So I could learn from them a lot of things. So since I started there, I was in Unreal 4 in the first time, and then I just moved it for Unreal 5, and I could see a lot of things changing, and mainly regarding the new technologies, right? The Lumen and the Night. So that was like a real game change, and what I see for the future, it's like a really promising with AI integration. So probably are going to see like a lot of things changing in the future, like about 1 or 2 years. Things will be really really nice, like in this kind of things. I really want to see like a prompted thing inside Unreal, like a chat GPT or something like that, that you can optimize and make something real fast in your work. So I believe that more efficiency things is coming in the future.
Now, let's dive a little into your journey. As a 3D environment artist at 3D Cityscapes, you've been instrumental in creating immersive digital experiences for urban development. How has this experience shaped your insights into the synergy between technology and city planning?
So city planning actually is not a new thing. So pretty much we already have a few cities in the world that master it. So my first contact with architectural and also digital twin projects was really interesting because I could see like a lot of new things coming in the future, like mainly regarding to if you wanted to identify some areas in the city and have data for that. Of course, you need to have some like IoT devices or something that you can get the data. So, but it's pretty cool because you can see different things. For example, the traffic areas, it's something that we already have like with Google Maps or any like a ride application, right? So we already have this data about which area have more traffic or not or less, so like a Waze app or something like that. But you can integrate all kind of data inside Unreal, of course, and any other like a digital twin app. So pretty much you can get data from like airports or shipping ports, also like to manage everything, right? So you can manage how your suitcases are coming or everything it's coming to airport or get those data really, really fast and real time. So it's pretty good to see how the technology is going with the digital twins project, right?
Speaking on this topic, digital twins are often associated with real time data integration. Can you elaborate on the significance of this real time aspect and how it influences decision making processes in different sectors?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, as I said, once you have the data inside one application like that, you can have more like better decisions when you take you are in the managed position, right? And you have all those datas. Of course, if we set one digital twin application to give you like 1,000 of informations, but you can select easily what you need to see, or if you're attacking like some issues during the process, or it's really costly, so you can identify exactly which area you need to fix, so that helps a lot with managing things. And I would say that in general, the digital twins helps a lot with this making decision. This kind of things is really, really, really good. And as I said before, I guess that everything is converging to efficiency. So it's pretty much like that. So if I have to pick a word to say about everything, for sure that is the efficiency, because you really can see a lot of things and make every single decision with a great precision, so it's really, really nice.
I see. As someone deeply involved in the creation of immersive experiences, how do you envision the role of digital twins in enhancing user experiences across various domains?
All right, I would say that recently I had one experience in a mall. It was really interesting because it wasn't like exactly a digital twin, but gave me some insight about that. And it was, the malls map, so you can find like one specific store or something like that. Here in Malaysia they have a one app for that you type the name and it give you exactly the path that you have to do inside the mall to get to the store. So it's really nice. And based on that, I was thinking, okay, if we can integrate something like that, like a mapping for something that you really need, for example, if you are thinking about the industry and you need to find one specific machine inside a huge like a warehouse or something like that, it's really useful because you can just type the name of the machine or something like a one identification that you need, and you get all the informations about that machine and how to get there. So based on that, is really, really, really interesting to see something like that we can reuse for other industries. For example, a machine with all the engineered parts and with fluids inside, so pretty much you can get all this information and how to get there, what do you need to do, or like any kind of information about that. So it's pretty, pretty interesting to see that working. And it's like for a mall it's a simple thing, but we can apply the same thing for other industries, like for a shipping port, you can get all the path or information about one ship that came to the port and just put one like a container there, so you can get all the informations what is inside that container. You get all this data, and you can see easily using the user experience will be much faster. You don't need to check all the papers and everything. You just have an app, a few buttons, you play the button, and that's it. You see everything. So it's pretty good.
All right. With advancements in technology, the scope of digital twins is expanding. From your perspective, what emerging trends or innovations do you foresee shaping the future landscapes of digital twins across industries?
All right, definitely. I guess that the answer is AI for sure, because yeah, since last year we have seen a lot of things coming based on AI. So I believe that digital twins in general are going to use this technology for sure. But not only that, probably AI will have more representative helper for us as a tool, right? So you can get like advices or warnings, this kind of things based on all datas. Because right now we have to read the data by ourselves, so have to be like a manager behind the digital twin app to see everything what is happening and take decisions. So I believe that in the future AI will be able to read all this data in real time and give you a few options like or answers for a few issues that you have. So you can pick like a one general idea based on AI, and you don't need to read everything, because depending on the industry, for example, if you're looking for a shipping port, you have a massive amount of data that you need to read. So AI will be able to do that in a few seconds. So once you have all this information, read it, and based on a few conditions that you do for that, you can get a lot of options or a lot of best decisions or a few decisions that you have to take, but you don't need to read be worried about a lot of data to read or to take a few days to process everything. So AI definitely will be the game changing for that.
So, a use case for digital twins are smart cityscapes. Smart city projects often involve a convergence of various technologies. From your perspective, what are the key challenges and opportunities in integrating technologies like digital twins, IoT, and AI for crafting more sustainable and efficient urban environments?
Okay, so actually, I really believe that this will be amazing in the future, but the most challenging thing that we have today is the cost. Definitely is the cost, because it's mainly if we're talking about the high-end IoT devices or something like that, it's really expensive. Mainly because it's a new thing, so we are still getting used with the technology and also producing those IoT devices. Although, like IoT devices, we already have a few years ago. But what I mean is, like for a digital twin that have all this data reading and everything mixing with AI, definitely will cost a lot of money. Mainly because, of course, if you we are talking, for example, airports or shipping ports or any other industry like that. Uh, we have to manage a lot of data. So those to have imagine like a shipping coming to your port, and you have to read every single data inside of one ship. So it's a lot of things to do, and of course it's really costly in that thing. And also you have the production of the digital twin app, right? So it's an application, or if it's like a internal um, how I would say it's like internal software or something like that. So to have that, you have a lot of people working to making the code, making them like a 3D environment thing. So it's a lot of time that we have to do that. So probably the cost will be really challengeful for the future, but the opportunity, it's huge, so it's endless, right? So we have basically 3 points here that make all the difference. That the first is your pocket. So as much your pocket can handle, you're going to have a huge industry or like a huge software that can see everything and give you all the best informations. We have also uh, the creativity, right? So depending on what the manager needs to see exactly, will be one of the key points for that. And also, of course, the construction of the application, right? So depending on that, we have also some technologies to do that we make much more faster the production of it. So I believe that these three key points will change in the future. Maybe the cost will be going like a down, and will much be faster and easy to get some solutions like that. So right now, I believe that the cost is it's huge at the moment. It's not all the companies that can afford that.
So let's move on to your role as a senior 3D environment artist, where you've worked with Unreal Engine 4 on various game environments. Can you shed light on how the integration of 3D modeling and Unreal Engine has evolved and impacted the gaming industry?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, we have some different kind of integrations right now that is happening, mainly between Unreal 4 and 5. We have some difference over there because the new technology, right? So we have the night and also lumen. So a few things have changed on the workflow itself. So if you're going to work with lumen, you have to worry about how you import that model or something like that. So depending of the way that you're going to work, like mainly for the game industry, a few games are going to use lumen as your basic light system, and the other ones will be preferring baked light. So for each workflow, you have to work with a different, like importing settings, also how you model the assets, and yeah, it's pretty much like this that integration is going to be a little bit different. But I would say that in general, it's really good. We have this technology like a nanite because it saves so much time with LOD, so we don't have to spend a lot of time doing like a tons of meshes, variations of that with less detail and worry about where you reduce the mesh or something like that. Although we have some tools that optimize this workflow, but sometimes you have to do that manually. And Nanite just saved a lot of time doing that. So you don't need to worry anymore about this kind of things. But of course, have some changes. For example, you have some limitations. So that doesn't work with every single asset that you have. For example, if you have a glass material, it doesn't work. So you have to separate your mesh. That impacts your workflow, because before we used to import one unique mesh with glass material, just setting a new ID for that. But right now we have to separate as a own mesh, like a glass mesh. So something like that is changing depending of the workflow that you choose to work.
So I understand the gaming industry is dynamic with technology constantly evolving. How do you stay abreast of the latest trends and integrate them into your workflow, ensuring your creations are at the forefront of innovation?
Okay, I believe that, like for my case, I prefer to use YouTube in the most part of the things because it's really easy. I'm a bit lazy to get inside the forums and get updated information from someone and the guys that are reading and looking for every single detail. So I don't look too much for this kind of things. I just go for YouTube. If I have something that I need to know, like what is new about Unreal Engine, that's it. What I do, So I get all this information a little bit more easy, and of course I have a different source of knowledge that I really like. That is like a you have to find a few artists that you really like, you appreciate the work that they do. Also sometimes they are much more updated than me in terms of workflow. So as once I follow them, I get all this information faster. So based on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn feed, it's a lot of new technologies coming every single day because I follow a lot of guys that work with that. So it's like a more passive way to get the information, but it's a constant thing. So it's how I usually get all this information. I get updated, but I also do some like online courses based on like a specific things. For example, when I was working with architecture, I had to learn a few specific ways to how to work between Unreal and AutoCAD or SketchUp or import and mesh or something like that. So I didn't know that before working in architecture, right? So based on that, I just was doing my research or buying some course how to do that, or find someone that have exactly the result that I want to have in my project. So I try to get this knowledge from this kind of person. So it's really really good. I like this way because for me it's perfect. I know I don't need to worry too much about get updated every single day. It's like a more relaxed way.
Now, lastly, Mr. Marco, considering you have extensive experience working on this innovative tech, could you share your vision for the future of these technologies and how they might shape our digital landscape?
Okay, if we are talking about game industry, I believe that we are going to have more enjoyable games, mainly with AI. So the interaction with different characters probably are going to be insanely different. So it's not like a repetitive, like a talks during the game. So we'll be much more uh, fluid, I would say, the communication. So maybe you can ask some like a NPC in the game, and have more informations, or just have a chat with those characters, and it will be really nice. So I believe that experience inside the game will be different in the future. Maybe for the next generation that is coming from like a next year or 2 years, but I believe that for architecture or digital twin project will be more like as I said, efficiency. So we may not see that in the real world, like digital twins everywhere. I don't believe that it's gonna happen, but we are going to see more in the really large corporations or different industries. Probably we will see the result on the efficiency. So yeah, I believe that managers of every single industry having access to digital twins software or app will be much, how I would say, like a much easier to take decisions, much easier to see like a future problems coming or any kind of thing. So we are going to be able to be more efficient, do more things in less time, and probably in the end of the day, we are going to see that impacting economies from every single place in the world, and it's really like that I see in the future. But probably we are going to see more this kind of things in the 3 to 5 years, because as I said, right now it's really costly. So it's not every single company that can afford this kind of technology. So probably after 5 years, when it gets more cheaper, I would say, for the production of everything, and of course AI helping us to develop that faster, I believe that this it's going to impact more our lives, like a daily lives.
Before we conclude off this episode, I want to extend my gratitude to our guest from 3D Cityscapes, Mr. Marco Aurelio, for sharing their expertise and insights into the potential of digital twins, Unreal Engine, and 3D environments. As we end off, stay tuned for more captivating conversations right here at Narsen Studios.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.